Good evening. This is the News at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and of course the Delhi elections is on everybody's mind. Delhi goes to the polls tomorrow. What is being said, we'll be updating you on that as far as Delhi is concerned. A whole host of other stories. There's a political crisis brewing in Bihar. We'll be talking about that as well. But first, let's get to the headlines. Delhi gears up for election day tomorrow. Triangular fight for the 70-member assembly between the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP and the Congress. Niti Aayog starts its innings. Prime Minister Narendra Modi brainstorms with economists on the general budget and ways to boost the economy. Bihar's Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi all set for a showdown with his party called Parallel Meeting of Legislative Party on 20th February. In the Nitish Katara case, High Court commutes the death sentence of accused Vikas and Vishal Yadav to life imprisonment. And talking about religious harmony, US President Barack Obama once again refers to India, says present intolerance would have shocked Mahatma Gandhi. Well, top story right now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today brainstormed with economists in the meeting of the Niti Aayog to find ways to boost the economy. He also sought suggestions from experts on the upcoming general budget. Now, the NDA government had set up the new panel by replacing the 65-year-old Planning Commission this year.
The National Institute for Transforming India, popularly known as Niti Aayog, saw its chairman, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, preside over its first meeting on Friday. He invited views from expert panel on issues regarding the economy. Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam, full-time members Vivek Debroy and VK Saraswat, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, Minister of State for Finance Jayant Sinha, Planning Minister Ranjit Singh and 4 ex-RBI governors were also present in the meeting.
The suggestions mainly related to the high growth roadmap on which the Indian economy has to be put. These were also in relation to the financing of infrastructure, how to attract investment, how to boost domestic savings.
The meeting also discussed suggestions with regard to effective implementation of several flagship schemes of the government.
State of the agricultural sector particularly was discussed. There were also suggestions with regard to effective implementation of several flagship schemes of the government and how poverty levels can be brought down.
The first meeting of the Governing Council of the Aayog will be convened on Sunday. The Governing Council comprises of State Chief Ministers and Lieutenant Governors of all Union Territories. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, after a month-long hectic campaign, Delhi is all geared up for the polling tomorrow. Arrangements have been made for keenly watched contests. In fact, here's a look at what's at stake for tomorrow.
The stage is all set for 70-member Delhi Assembly. With campaigning coming to end on Thursday, now the eyes are on tomorrow. It might look like a triangular fight between the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP and the Congress. But the real contest seems to be between the two Chief Minister candidates Arvind Kejriwal and Kiran Bedi.
After nearly a year of President's rule, Delhi is all set to elect a new government. The polling process will begin at 8 a.m. on Saturday to seal the fate of as many as 673 candidates. Elaborate arrangements have been made to conduct the polling process. A total of 95,000 government officials have been roped in for election duty. More than 1 lakh security personnel have been deployed across the city, especially in and around the polling booths. Polling will take place at 12,177 polling stations, of which 191 have been marked as highly critical.
This because different forces are coming there. From CAPF, there are different CAPF, different CRPF, BSF, CISF and state armed police is also coming there. They have also been briefed by their respective senior officers.
For the first time, Delhi voters will be inked by using a brush and not a stick. The Election Commission says ink applied with a brush will dry faster but won't erase.
ब्रश का यूज करके अगर आप उसको लगाते हैं तो उससे वो 1/3 टाइम में जो है वो ड्राई हो जाता है. तो एक नया प्रयास है और ये वैसे वोटर्स के लिए हमारे लिए बड़ा जिसके बारे में थोड़ी भी शंका आपको हो और जो थोड़े उत्पाती हो सकते हैं उनके लिए ये बहुत कारगर चीज है.
In 2013, Delhi got a fractured mandate, with the BJP getting 32 of the total 70 seats and Aam Aadmi Party finishing a close second with 28 seats. Debutant Aam Aadmi Party formed a government with the support of the Congress Party but resigned within 49 days of rule. This time around, it will be interesting to see if this year's mandate allows majority to any of the key parties. With Pranav Goswami and Anu Diwan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And we have Mahua Chatterjee, assistant political editor of the Times of India, joining us to help us understand. I mean, it's not at stake as far as all the political candidates in the fray are concerned, Mahua. But this time, rather uniquely, Delhiites also wearing their allegiances on their sleeves, making no bones about who they're supporting. It's a very political Delhi, unlike what one has usually seen.
That's the most remarkable part. In fact, it's quite a unique phenomenon, because usually it's supposed to be a secret ballot, and this is something that I saw the last time, that's in 2013, when the AAP first came into the picture, and people were going out to the polling booths in the morning, and they were sort of, if one group was going to the polling booth, the other, which was coming out from there, was clearly saying, oh, you're going, okay, go quickly and make sure this is your room number, because they were all neighbors, so they knew where the numbers would be. And मैंने तो आपको डाल दिया, आप भी डाल देना, मैंने तो बीजेपी को डाल दिया, आपने डाल देना. I mean, it was, people don't speak about who they have voted for, right. But it was quite remarkable that people were doing it, and more so with AAP supporters who voted for the AAP for the first time. So that there was a new enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm continues to be, because Delhi's waited long enough for the real elections to happen again since 2013.
Alright, so Delhi getting perhaps addicted to elections and really enjoying elections. I mean, if anything is more evident than the Facebook voting selfies that people put up of their fingers. So Delhi certainly will not be in huge numbers, we can expect tomorrow. But if you talk about the entire campaign, a month-long, very bitter campaign, which we saw, I mean, this kind of a campaign was really unprecedented, given just 70 seats in Delhi, but the BJP getting 120 MPs in, the Prime Minister campaigning. It's a matter of prestige for the BJP, and David versus Goliath kind of a situation, not helping the BJP out, or we'll have to wait and see till the 10th? What's your assessment?
See, Delhi's always been an important, I mean, though it's only 70 seats, it's always been an important assembly election, simply because it's the national capital, and the results sort of reverberate through the country. So if there is a government in Delhi which comes to office which is quite different from the government in the center, it is quite a unique situation. I mean, it does create it gives out a message which sort of seems, which truly may not be, but sort of seems that it's going against the central the norm, that, I mean, the government that there is at the center, because the entire power class resides in Delhi. The main parties are all here, the main leaders are all here. So it's quite, I mean, Delhi's always been very important as far as which way it goes. I mean, people keenly watch all across the country. I mean, what happened in Jharkhand is not something that everybody across the country was watching, but what happens in Delhi is something that everybody is keenly watching. Everybody is asking you what's going to happen across the country. It's not just Delhi voters.
Right. In fact, I mean, many are saying that if something does go wrong, then it might require a major relook as far as national policy planning from the central government is concerned also. But Mahua, a quick question on the issues. I mean, this is one election, perhaps, I mean, I was reading somewhere that where caste has taken a back seat, and it's more a class struggle, and what is more evident than the kind of imagery and the symbolism associated with both parties in this election?
Delhi is a very mixed population, and it is, it's got more and more, the sort of demography has changed in Delhi quite a bit over the last 15-20 years, So it's a very mixed population. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would say it's sort of 85% urban voter. Therefore, it is invariably beyond that caste voting system that goes on in interiors and the rural areas. Much like a big city, Delhi votes outside of its caste colors to a great extent. So that's been a trend for quite some time, and it's only rising. The other thing is, the campaign, as you said, has very interestingly been, it's AAP versus BJP. That's the election that Delhi is going to see tomorrow. And somehow, going by the polls that have come so far, the surveys, whatever has come up, and the banners, posters, campaigns that you see and hear across the city is all BJP versus AAP or AAP versus BJP. And there somehow, see, AAP has nothing to lose, but BJP's sort of will, lose a bit of prestige if it loses Delhi after having won with such thunderous numbers across the country, not only in the Lok Sabha but in all the following assembly elections. Therefore, it's a huge stake for the BJP, even if it's a 70-seat assembly here. Therefore, the campaign naturally has been, and surprisingly, which is not usually the BJP style, right from day one, from the campaign that started at the Ramlila Maidan, where Narendra Modi started with the BJP, opened up the BJP's campaign day for the Delhi elections. It's been basically hitting out at AAP, which obviously proves the fact that, the only opponent that they're looking at is the AAP. And even at the press conference today, senior BJP minister Arun Jaitley said that, the dilution and the disappearance of Congress, is the words that he used, has sort of given rise to a local party, which is, without naming AAP, mentioned the rival that they are facing tomorrow.
And that perhaps has played into the advantage of the Aam Aadmi Party, because many are saying that the votes that would traditionally go to the Congress could now fall into the Aam Aadmi Party. They're not going over to the BJP, as what poll pundits are saying for now. But thanks very much, Mahua, for coming in and helping us understand the polling in Delhi a little better. So tomorrow is the election, and we hope that all of you also go out in Delhi who are watching this and vote in huge numbers. But Mahua Chachi, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand that. All right, moving on now, and talking about the Congress party. Well, senior Congress leaders have resolved to speed up the ongoing membership drive of the party. General secretaries and party vice president Rahul Gandhi attended the Central Election Authority meeting held in the national capital today. Issues related to organizational elections, including the membership drive, were discussed at the meeting. As per the current schedule, the membership drive of the party is concluding by the end of this month, following which the process for organizational elections will be set in motion. The process will culminate in the election of a new party president by the end of the year.
आज मीटिंग रिस्ट्रिक्टेड थी मेंबरशिप कितनी हो रही है अपडेट लेने के लिए और क्या करना चाहिए, जो अब चेयरमैन इलेक्शन अथॉरिटी ने एक अपडेट स्टेटस मांगा है.
Well, time for a very quick break right now, but coming up on the other side, swine flu is claimed to bring more lives as the virus has spread further in the country. We'll get you an update on that on the other side.
In the Maths Factor, we travel through time and space and see how maths has evolved and how it is a part of the world around us. Join us on Rajya Sabha television. Watch the Maths Factor every Sunday at 8 AM.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, the Delhi High Court today commuted the death sentences of all three convicts in the 2002 Nitish Khatara murder case to life terms. The court awarded a 25-year term sentence to Uttar Pradesh politician D.P. Yadav's son Vikas Yadav and his cousin. The court also imposed a fine of 50 lakh rupees on them.
spared the death penalty on Friday, the Yadav cousins were sentenced to 25 years of rigorous imprisonment. The High Court scaled up the punishment awarded to the two men earlier. Vikas Yadav, the Uttar Pradesh politician DP Yadav's son, and his cousin Vishal were sent to jail without remission for 25 years. Sukhdev Pahalwan, the third accused, was jailed without remission for 20 years. All three were awarded an additional 5-year jail term for destroying evidence as well. Nitish Katara's mother, Neelam Katara, however, expressed disappointment that the court turned down the prosecution's petition for capital punishment.
हमने मांगा था कि डेथ पेनल्टी दी जाए, जिसमें हमें आज भी विश्वास है कि इस क्राइम में डेथ पेनल्टी होनी थी, मगर माननीय हाई कोर्ट किसी वजह से वहां तक आके रुक गया है। क्या हमारे बात रखने में कहीं कोई गलती हो गई है या कोई चीज हम नहीं कह पाए हैं, उसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आगे जाएंगे।
On 2nd of April 2014, the bench upheld the 2008 trial verdict that sentenced the three to life imprisonment and termed the case as an honor killing. Vikas and Bharti are children of former parliamentarian DP Yadav.
हम लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट में दिल्ली उच्च न्यायालय की जो कन्विक्शन है, जो सजा सुनाई थी 2 अप्रैल 2014 को, उस सजा के खिलाफ भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे। जो आज ऑर्डर ऑन सेंटेंस आया है, उसके खिलाफ भी हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे।
Vikas, his cousin Vishal Yadav and Sukhdev Pahalwan are already serving life terms for abducting and killing business executive Katara. On the night of 17th of February, they murdered the son of an IAS officer because they were opposed to his relationship with their sister Bharti Yadav. With Ravinder Singh Shoran, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the crisis in the Bihar JDU could see an interesting twist in Delhi tomorrow. Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi is arriving in the city for a meeting of the Niti Aayog. Reports say that he could also meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Manjhi has signalled a revolt against his party leadership in Patna by announcing that he will not attend the JDU legislature party meet called by party president Sharad Yadav on Saturday.
His party wants him to quit, but Bihar Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi is holding firm. In fact, he is challenging his own party president Sharad Yadav's move to call a meeting of the JDU legislature party on 7th February. Manjhi is expected to be asked to step down at the meeting. On Thursday, the Chief Minister's office issued a statement that said the right to call legislature party meeting rests with the leader of the legislature party, the Chief Minister. The notice of the meeting called on February 7th is not an authorized one. JDU General Secretary K.C. Tyagi, however, maintained that the meeting called by Sharad Yadav was valid.
तो राजनीतिक चर्चा के दौरान श्री मांझी जी ने स्वयं ही शरद जी से आग्रह किया था कि विधानमंडल दल की बैठक बुलाई। उनके आग्रह पर ही ये बैठक बुलाई गई। पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के पास असीमित अधिकार प्रदत्त है, जिसके तहत श्री शरद यादव कोई भी निर्णय पार्टी में लेने के लिए अधिकृत है। हालांकि उन फैसलों को 1 महीने के अंदर राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी से मंजूरी लेना आवश्यक है।
Waiting for a chance to wade into the crisis is the largest opposition party in the state. Senior BJP leader Sushil Kumar Modi said all options are open and they will take a decision at the right time.
देखिए, बिहार में अब ये साफ रूप से प्रकट हो चुका है कि बिहार में राजनीतिक अंतर्कलह जो वर्तमान शासन दल में है और जिस प्रकार से बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री ने बयान दिया है, मुझे लगता है कि सरकार की मर्यादा भी समाप्त हो गई है और जिस प्रकार से आंतरिक कलह के परिवेश में जो चर्चाएं हो रही हैं, इसमें बिहार की 10 करोड़ जनता पूरी तौर पर प्रताड़ित हो रही है।
Manjhi's revolt could mean that in the event he is sacked, the government would be in crisis, since many of his cabinet ministers support him.
बिहार की जनता ने लालू जी का खेल पहले समाप्त कर दिया था। अब नीतीश जी की सरकार है मांझी जी के नेतृत्व में, फिर भी नीतीश जी का खेल अब समाप्त हो चुका है। बिहार की जनता परेशान है और मैं मानता हूं कि ये सरकार जितनी जल्दी जाए उतनी ही बिहार के हित में होगा।
The crisis was precipitated on Thursday when Manjhi refused to attend a meeting of party MPs and MLAs at former Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's house. Party leaders denied their purpose was to remove Manjhi.
ये मैं इस बैठक में कौन को क्या बुलाया जा रहा है, इसकी जिम्मेदारी वशिष्ठ नारायण सिंह के ऊपर है। उनसे मेरी बात नहीं हुई है, मैं तो बोल करके अभी आई रहा हूँ।
Party leaders, including Tyagi, say Manjhi's removal had become imperative in view of his repeated controversial remarks. They also maintained that Manjhi was in any case a temporary arrangement since the 2000 mandate in Bihar was for Nitish Kumar. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The swine flu has claimed 5 more lives in Rajasthan today as the virus spread further inside the country. Rajasthan is the worst affected, among the worst affected states. Apart from the 73 deaths reported this year, 437 others have been tested positive. In Maharashtra, 2 more people lost their lives due to the virus, taking the death toll to 27 in the state. Nagpur recorded the maximum number of swine flu cases, with 113 being treated in different hospitals in the city. Mumbai recorded 23 positive cases, out of which 4 people have died. In Gujarat as well, the virus has claimed 9 lives in the last 24 hours, taking this year's toll to 62. Well, some international news now, and the Trans-Asia plane that crashed in Taiwan on Wednesday had lost power in both engines. The black box data of the flight revealed today what went wrong with the aircraft just moments before the crash. However, authorities say it was too early to draw really firm conclusions about the reason why the engine malfunctioned. In fact, 4 more people involved in the crash died today, taking the death toll to 35.
Both the engines of the Trans-Asia Airlines plane that crashed in Taiwan had failed. This has been revealed by the data of the plane's black box. Taiwan's Aviation Safety Council has said that the engines failed to produce enough thrust for 2 minutes after takeoff.
1号发动机做了关断，到最后这段时间，刚才我们在 CVR 有听到，组员在说要重新启动发动机 restart， 要重新启动发动机的时候，这个时候1号发动机才开始有一些其他开始。
Meanwhile, the search and rescue teams retrieved 4 more bodies from the crash site on Friday.
复兴航空今日也会针对确认身份的罹难者家属，另外发放新台币120万元的丧葬补助费。那这个供家属运用在这个丧葬相关的支出上面。
Taiwanese Vice President paid his respects to the victims at a funeral in Taipei. He also praised the pilot who tried his best to steer the plane away from nearby residences before crashing into the river. Trans-Asia Airways announced $38,000 as compensation to the families of the victims.
大陆来台的家属陆续再来，我们也陆续在办理中。另外，丧葬补助费120万，现在已经开始发放。我们由今天在2滨跟相关的家属，还有大陆来台的家属一起做发放。
Investigators are to issue a preliminary report on the crash within 30 days and a fuller report within 3 to 4 months. A final draft will be submitted within 8 months and the full investigation concluded in about a year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Religious intolerance in India would have shocked Mahatma Gandhi. These are the words of US President Barack Obama, who once again referenced India as he spoke about religious harmony. Obama was speaking at an annual breakfast prayer meet in Washington, D.C.
A day after the White House refuted suggestions that the US President's public speech in New Delhi, in which he touched upon religious tolerance, was a potting shot aimed at the ruling BJP, Barack Obama had this to say at a prayer meet in Washington, D.C.
Do more around the world.
He said, and I quote, "Michelle and I returned from India, an incredible, beautiful country full of magnificent diversity, but a place where in the past years, religious faiths of all types have on occasion been targeted by other peoples of faith simply due to their heritage and their beliefs, acts of intolerance that would have shocked Gandhiji." In the wide-ranging speech, Obama also touched upon the terror unleashed by the Islamic State.
We have seen violence and terror perpetrated by those who profess to stand up for faith, their faith. Profess to stand up for Islam, but in fact are betraying it. We see ISIL, a brutal, vicious death cult that, in the name of religion, carries out unspeakable acts of barbarism, terrorizing religious minorities like the Yazidis, subjecting women to rape as a weapon of war, and claiming the mantle of religious authority for such actions.
This prayer meet was also keenly watched by the Chinese, as it had the Dalai Lama in attendance, but Obama did not meet the Tibetan spiritual leader in exile. Though Obama did refer to the Dalai Lama as his good friend and acknowledged his presence in the audience.
A good friend, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama.
Bureau
who
Report,
is a
Rajya
powerful
Sabha TV.
example.
Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.